What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Crystal, and I am back with another review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Amazon's new hit TV thriller, Swarm, starring Dominique Fishback. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, all I could think of when I watched this show was that crazy out there again. For all my Friday fans, I hope y'all know what that refers to. If you don't, you're just too young to watch this video. But today I'm going to be reviewing it, and let me tell you, I adore this show. I was very apprehensive at first because I really didn't understand the premise. I didn't know if I'd like it. Thrillers are not really my thing. Um, so I just wasn't sure. But Twitter, thank you, Black Twitter, they put me on. The hashtag swarm with all the bees and everything made me want to watch, and I did. So I watched it opening weekend. It dropped on Amazon Prime um, March 17th, and I believe I watched it that Sunday, and I binged the whole 7 episodes. So it's really quick. The episodes are only about 33 to 35 minutes, so you can binge it in one day if you want. You don't have to worry about, not being able to pee or take a nap or something like that. You'll get right through it. 3.5 hours of your day, and you're through the show. So let's get right into it. So once again, the show stars Dominique Fishback. You guys might remember her from Judas and the Black Messiah. She's been in a number of other shows and films. I believe The Deuce is where I saw her first. I know she has a movie or a show out that was with Jamie Foxx where she played a high school rapper, and that's on Netflix. I forgot the name of it, but check it out. She's really dope, and I think this role here has put her into, I think, the new Black Hollywood elite. And it usually only takes one role for you to do that, and I think this is hers. So, Dominique Fishback plays Dre, a young, crazed fan for this pop star named Naja. Now, some comparisons out there are to the Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, the Taylor Swift, and her stands are called the Swarm, i.e., the Beehive, or the Bardies, or the Barbs, or the Swifties. So it's very, very different premise. I've never seen anything like this on TV. It is co-created by Donald Glover and a woman named Janine Neighbors, who's a Black woman. And she started, I believe, writing on season 3 of Atlanta. So the show is shot, if you know of Atlanta, that used to come on FX that recently ended. It's shot in that same vein. It's lots of colors. There's a mood, there's a tone. They use a lot of social commentary, but they disguise a lot of it with humor, which is my personal favorite, because I think anything can be talked about and anything can be discussed as long as you add a little bit of humor, no matter how uncomfortable the topic is. And that's what Atlanta did. They, especially in this last season, they dealt with a lot of social topics or news stories and things like that. But under the guise of humor, you can digest it. And that's what this show is about. So it follows a young woman named Dre whose obsession with the pop star Naja takes a dark turn and murderous turn. Now I'm going to try to avoid spoilers as much as I can, but if you haven't seen it now, what are you doing with your life? That's your problem, right? So I'll start with who's in it. Once again, Dominique Fishback is the lead as Dre. Chloe Bailey plays her sister Marissa. Damson Idris is in first episode. He plays the boyfriend. I forgot his name. Sorry. But it has a host of other guest stars. Leon, if y'all all remember him from the Five Heartbeats, Ain't Nobody Coming to See You, Otis, he's in there. He plays Marissa's father. Billie Eilish, if anyone's out there a pop fan of Billie Eilish, she's in an episode. I won't tell you which one. You'll have to watch it. But she's in it, and she's really good, surprisingly. Paris Jackson. Now, that was a surprise for me. And I will say, in the moment of the scene that they're in episode 2, I had no idea that was Paris Jackson. But Twitter, thank you, Black Twitter, again, told me it was Paris Jackson. And I look back like, it is. And the irony, if you watch the show, the scene between her and Dre at this diner is quite ironic and funny. And it's only the way Donald and Janine write, you can tell, is that ironic humor, dark humor a little bit. They poke fun at some things, and it's brilliant. And Paris Jackson did a wonderful job in this scene. Um, yeah, so Cree Summer, if anyone knows her, of course, from Different World, that's how I met her. But she does a host of all of the I think she does a lot of sounds in the Rugrats, or she's a voice actor mostly, but she's in there. She plays the mom of Dre's love interest at the end of the series. It's just a lot, like they dug up a lot of people, a lot of dope stars to just come in, give Dre some great energy and scene partners, and she fed off them beautifully. So, once again, it's 7 episodes, 35 minutes each. You can binge that really easy. The names of the episode: number one, Stung. We all know the pilot introduces you to the characters, introduces you to the premise, and things of that nature. And we dive right in with this one. Now, social media is just talking about the sex scene that's going on between Chloe Bailey and Damson Idris, but that's in the first, I believe, 5 minutes of the episode. Once you get past that, the episode, that's just what I think Twitter just gravitated to. But if you go past that, the episode is really good. Just introduces you to how Dre is a crazed fan of this pop star Nija, and just takes a dark turn, and you just see something in her eyes that's just not right. Second episode, called Honey. That's where Dre goes off and becomes a stripper. This is one of my favorite episodes, I will say, because the stripper story is quite iconic. There are, I believe, four strippers that accompany Dre to a man's house, and they do some things. And it's based on an actual true news story, which I think is kind of brilliant from Janine and Donald, is that they take actual news headlines and social media things and put them into this show to make them real. And they kind of start off the series with that disclaimer, like anything that you may witness that is reminiscent of real life events, that is intentional. And I love that disclaimer because everybody's like, what is she talking about? That ain't really happened. It did. And she said that the legality of all of that, I think recently in an interview, Janine said the legality of all these things went through. So they didn't put anything in here that was false. Just a FYI, in case one of you fandoms want to say, that ain't happened. It did. Number three is Taste. Number four is Running Scared. That happens to be my personal favorite episode because I think that's the first time we understand why Dre is so intense on who she is. There's a beautiful scene. It's going around social media, so you probably have seen it, about 90 seconds between her and Billie Eilish character. And she does like this hypnosis on Dre to kind of make her confess to why she's weird, and why she has all this trauma and past things going on, and how she became who she is, and why she's so infatuated with this pop star Nija. So that's my favorite episode, and I think that's the episode that will get Dominique Fishback Emmy nomination, Golden Globe nomination, whatever you have nomination. Y'all better do it, or we will be showing up to the door with razor blades and lemon juice. Um, Jokes. It's not a threat, it's jokes. But for real. Number five is called Girly Bye. Number six is called Falling Through the Cracks. And that's the basically like a docu type of episode. It's shot, everybody said, like, oh my God, this is so Atlanta. Like, it's so different than the other episodes. Like, the other episodes are very cohesive and you follow the story. But then number six comes, and he kind of uses other people to show this story. So yeah, it's a mind twist. I had to go back and rewatch, and I still kind of don't get it. But hey, maybe that's what it's for. And then the last episode is Only God Makes Happy Endings, and I think that's perfect because one thing I think a lot of times in TV and film and sometimes theater is that everybody wants to wrap everything up in a bow and make it pretty at the end. And it's like, no. Um, let's be honest to the characters. Let's be honest to the moment. Everybody doesn't want a happy ending. Every character doesn't deserve a happy ending. Let's tell the truth about what's happening. And Dre is a serial killer. And that's that on that. But overall, series is brilliant. I think I can definitely see Dominique getting at least an Emmy nomination. Uh, she better, like I said, or we will be outside protesting with signs and such. Dominique, what you gonna wear to the Emmys? I think you should wear like a blue, bring out your eyes. I really love your eyes and things like that. I think whatever color blue, shade of blue, but I would go like with a navy or a royal blue. I think you should wear something like that to the carpet. And if you do, shout me out, girl. But I really do think she deserves. She carried this show. There were times in the show where she wouldn't say anything. She would just be in the room and active listening. That's the beauty of acting, as they say. It's not always dialogue, but acting is listening, right? And not listening to respond, but really taking in your environment and reacting. And she did that a lot, especially in the episodes with like her co-stars, like the stripper episode where it was like 5 or 6 people in the room, and sometimes she would just be taking in the moment, and you could just tell she was present, right? She was active listening to what was going on around her, and then when it was time for her to speak, she had something to say. For that alone, I think you deserve, sis. Congratulations on a brilliant, brilliant performance. Oh, I neglected to mention in the beginning, Malia Obama, yes, first daughter of Barack and Michelle, is a writer on this series. Yes, I don't know how many episodes she wrote on, but sis was a writer on this. I believe this was her first job that we all and I remember when it was announced that she was gonna be a writer and go into these movie studios, and I believe this is her first job at Amazon Prime with this show. And sis, you did that. And they've been showing a lot of behind the scenes footage of them smiling and all of, just such fun stuff. And that makes me happy because I think as an actor myself, I wonder about Dominique's mental health during this time. I don't know how long they shot this for, but I wonder how does she take care of herself? And if you see this, Dominique, I would love to know your answer via Twitter or something. Like, how did you take care of yourself during these very um, violent scenes, repulsive scenes, that you had to do and go there in these dark things? And there was something very intense even when you weren't speaking, even when you were laughing, you would just always had this intense energy. And that's, what the character called for. But I just wonder when the director and everyone yelled cut, how did you take care of yourself? Obviously you took care of yourself well because you're still here with us and you're doing these great interviews with Tamron Hall and Angela Yee and things like that, and you're just smiling and just a breath of fresh air. But I just wonder during those times, how did you take care of yourself? Because that is a dark place to be in. I think about some of these other movies like Joker and the Freddy Kruegers of the world. And even though Dahmer was a real story, Evan Peters playing Dahmer, I wonder how they took care of themselves during these dark, dark scenes. And I really want interviewers to start asking actors that instead of, oh, girl, you killed it. Oh my God, you had me scared. Seriously, ask about how did they take care of themselves? Because that is, something that's very important when you tap into these dark characters in these dark places. Your body does not know you're acting, your mind does, but your body is, may do some things. So, bravo to you, sis. I really do hope you continue to take care of yourself. You did an awesome job. I really hope the Emmys and all of the award shows, SAG and everybody next season honors your work. I hope your peers honors your work because baby girl, you did that. So that's all I have to say about that without spoiling anything. If you watched the show, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you want more? Do you think there'll be a season 2? I don't know. It could be. But yeah, just let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And once again, thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Bye.